Newly appointed U.S. ambassador presents credential to President Umid call to work for enhanced bilateral trade and investment. Participation of all political parties fulfills expectation of competitive election, says Chief Election Commissioner. No unity in Uiko front, BNP in Hodgepodge, comments Awami League General Secretary Ubaidul Qadir. US Senate votes favoring withdrawal of military assistance to Saudi-led coalition fighting in Yemen. And Bangladesh eyeing series win amid Windies in second test at Mirpur tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum viewers, I'm Tanzila Mana Sultana welcoming you all to News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Center.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Roya Zabin. You have just heard the headlines and now on to the details. Bangladesh's foreign currency reserve has registered more than 450% growth in the last 10 years. According to Bangladesh Bank data, as of September, foreign exchange reserves stood at $31.95 billion, up by 450.86% from $5.8 billion in December 2008. Economists said that the country's foreign reserves rose sharply mainly due to steady economic growth, including robust export earnings as well as healthy remittance inflows in the last several years. Centre for Policy Dialogue (CPD) said that the country's economic activities have increased significantly over the last decade. Besides, remittance inflows and foreign investment have also surged. Bangladesh Bank said that foreign exchange comes mostly from exports, remittances, foreign aid and grants, as well as foreign direct investment. As a whole, Bangladesh has performed well in these categories. As a result, in the last 10 years, Bangladesh has seen a sharp rise in foreign exchange reserves, which has improved the country's financial stability. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid has urged the new U.S. envoy to work for enhancing the trade and investment between Bangladesh and the USA. The president made the call when newly appointed ambassador of the United States of America to Bangladesh, Earl Robert Miller, presented his credentials to him at BANGABHABAN this afternoon. On arrival at BANGABHABAN, the new envoy was given guard of honor by a contingent of President Guard Regiment. Welcoming the new envoy, President Mohammad Abdul Hamid said the USA is one of the development partners of Bangladesh. The president said the relations between Bangladesh and the USA are enhancing gradually. President Abdul Hamid expressed hope that the existing relations between the two countries would be expanded in the days to come. During the meeting, the new envoy, Robert Miller, said the US always gives priority to develop its ties with Bangladesh. He sought the president's cooperation to discharge his duties and hoped that relations between Bangladesh and the USA would be strengthened during his tenure. Foreign Secretary and secretaries to the president were present.
Chief Election Commissioner K.M. Nurul Huda has said the aspirations of a participatory and competitive election has been fulfilled. He expressed his satisfaction while inaugurating a training course for the trainers of the government officials, marking the 11th National Parliamentary election at the auditorium of Nirbachan Bhaban in Dhaka today. Election Commission Secretary Hilaluddin Ahmed presided over the function, while Director General of the Election Training Institute Mustafa Farooq addressed among others. The Chief Election Commissioner said submission of the nomination papers in a festive mood proved that the atmosphere of the confidence in electoral management has been created in the country. The CEC called upon the government officials to behave neutrally with all the candidates, irrespective of opinions and party affiliations, and give solutions to the complaint, if any, to make the parliamentary election transparent and acceptable to all. Awami League General Secretary Ubadul Qadir said the Uikur Front has no unity and a chaotic situation prevails in BNP. He said this while briefing the journalists at Awami League President's political office at Dhanmondi in Dhaka today. Ubadul Qadir said the Uikur Front has been formed centering Dr. Kamal Hussain, who himself is not contesting in the election, in a plea that he will not take nomination papers from a terrorist, as Canadian government termed BNP as a terrorist party. Referring that everything is out of BNP's Secretary General Fakul Islam's control regarding BNP's nomination, Ubadul Qadir said they are throwing themselves at dark by making fabricated allegation remarks. The Awami League General Secretary said BNP is inactive without Jamaat, adding Jamaat and BNP are interrelated. They are doing politics jointly and they were involved in the 2014 attacks, he added. Replying to journalist query, the Road Transport and Bridges Minister said BNP has an old habit of throwing stones in the dark. They should come up with evidence. Ubadul Qadir said European Union considered that the 11th parliament election in Bangladesh will be free, fair and competitive, and that is why it will not send any observatory delegation. Earlier, Ubadul Qadir held a meeting with a delegation of the European Union. Now BTV's regular field report on politics, election and people's voice. Discussion, table talks and conversation going on at every corner of the country as the national election comes nearer. Mass people are discussing about the government's performance, development of localities, dreams and possibilities of future Bangladesh. Talking to BTV, a rickshaw puller and a passerby from Dhaka University TSG area expressed their thoughts over the next general election. Rickshaw puller Mintu Sarkar arrived in Dhaka from Brahmanbaria many years before. He found the last 9 years were much peaceful and safer. In the past there was mugging on the streets and they would snatch his hard-earned money, but now he feels very comfortable and safe. Another rickshaw puller said, "We will not support any party who kills people with petrol bombs and fire. Robbers, thieves, extortionists, terrorists and their supporters should be kept away from state power." A passerby told the reporter that now people can easily reach Dhaka from any part of the country. New roads, bridges, railways have been built. Also, the country has gained momentum in the IT sector. Even in Union Parishads, we have now information center established by this government. He wants a government that will continue all these development works going.
Now international news. The U.S. Senate has advanced a measure to withdraw American military support for a Saudi-led coalition fighting in Yemen in a blow to President Donald Trump. Senators voted 63 to 37 to take forward the bipartisan motion. Many senators are unhappy with Trump's response to the murder of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Earlier, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Defense Secretary Jim Mattis had urged senators not to back the motion, saying it would worsen the situation in Yemen. At least 10 people have died and 19 were injured after a compound for British security firm G4S was attacked, authorities said. Gunmen stormed the compound after a car bomb was detonated outside, according to an Afghan Interior Ministry spokesman. A security source has told that foreigners were among the casualties. The Taliban have claimed responsibility for the attack. The Interior Ministry warned the number could rise. The United States sent 2 Navy ships through the Taiwan Strait, the third such operation this year, as the U.S. military increases operations in the strategic waterway despite opposition from China. The voyage on Wednesday will add to tensions with China, but is likely to be viewed in self-ruled Taiwan as a sign of support from U.S. President Donald Trump's government amid growing friction between Taipei and Beijing. An anonymous U.S. official told AFP news agency that Chinese ships asserted a presence during Wednesday's sailing, but all interactions between the two navies were safe and professional. Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko has urged NATO to send ships to the Sea of Azov following a naval confrontation with Russia off Crimea. He told Germany's Bild newspaper he hoped the ships could be relocated to assist Ukraine and provide security. On Sunday, Russia opened fire on 3 Ukrainian ships and seized their crews in the Kerch Strait between the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov. NATO has expressed full support for Ukraine, which is not a member of state. Amid worsening relations on Wednesday, Russian President Vladimir Putin accused Mr. Poroshenko of creating the naval provocation to boost his ratings ahead of 2019 elections.
National Income Tax Day tomorrow. The theme of this year's Tax Day is ensuring continuous development and social justice through income tax growth. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina have issued separate messages on the occasion wishing a success of the day. President Abdul Hamid in his message said that income tax is not only a source of revenue earnings but also a media of establishing economic and social justice. Income tax is considered as the key source of revenue earning in all developed countries across the world, he added. In her message, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina said the main objective of National Board of Revenue (NBR) is to collect revenue, but it also works for ensuring social justice and equality. She hoped that the NBR has been playing an effective role in implementing the government's Vision 2021 and Vision 2041 by further increasing the revenue earnings. The NBR arranged the tax fair across the country from 13th to 19th November, providing various types of services to the taxpayers. The NBR decided to extend the deadline until December 2 for filing income tax returns for individual taxpayers. Bangladesh Air Force will replace 358 peacekeepers in United Nations mission in Congo. Chief of Air Staff Air Chief Marshal Mashiuzaman Sherniabad briefed the new contingent members at Bangladesh Air Force Base Bashar at capital Tejgaon today. Principal staff officers, air officers of Dhaka area and senior BAF officers of air headquarters and bases were present among others on the occasion. Addressing the occasion, Chief of Air Staff advised them to discharge their duties with honesty, professionalism and sincerity and bring good reputation for Bangladesh Air Force as well as for the country. Thereafter, he participated in a special munazat arranged for success of the contingent. News on weather. Bangladesh Meteorological Department predicted dry weather with temporarily partly cloudy sky and light to moderate fog at some places over the country tomorrow. Night and day temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country during the period. The maximum temperature in the country was recorded 32.4 degrees Celsius yesterday at Jashore in Khulna Division and minimum temperature 11.3 degrees Celsius today at Srimangal in Sylhet Division.
Now news on sports. Bangladesh will face Windies in the second test of the 2-match series tomorrow. The match will start at 9:30 in the morning at the Mirpur Sher-e-Bangla National Cricket Stadium. Bangladesh played a total of 15 test matches against Windies. The Tigers won 3 matches while they lost at 10 and made draw in 2 matches. In this current series, Bangladesh have a chance to win the Test trophy while they beat West Indies by 64 runs in the first Test match in Chattogram. And now to end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Amazing success in country's foreign exchange reserve as growth rises 450% in last 10 years. Newly appointed U.S. ambassador presents credential to President amid call to work for enhanced bilateral trade and investment. Participation of all political parties fulfills expectation of competitive election, says Chief Election Commissioner. No unity in Oiko Front, BNP in hodgepodge, comments Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir. U.S. Senate votes favoring withdrawal of military assistance to Saudi-led coalition fighting in Yemen. And Bangladesh eyeing series win, meet Windies in second test at Mirpur tomorrow.